What's up guys, Kirk Gibson here. Today I'm going to show you the most common throwing mistakes in Ultimate Frisbee. One of the more common throwing mistakes that I see is a big loopy windup. So if you're throwing the flick here, come out here, I see the big loopy windup coming like this, and with that, the first thing is that it telegraphs the throw to your marker. So if you're doing a big windup thinking that it's going to get that extra power, it gives your marker a chance to potentially come out and D the throw. The other thing when you do this is that it will cause you to really lack the potential of a snap on the flick, because that's where you're really deriving your power. The power is not derived from this big loopy motion, although you certainly can get it. It's just much too long of a throw for a windup for a game situation. So when you have a big loopy motion, you'll see right here that it just takes a while to get off. What you want to do instead of having this big loopy motion is just be ready in a flick stance, and when you're ready to throw, just get that throw off just real quick right through the center of the zone. So another common throwing mistake is overpronating your wrist and arm when releasing the flick. So a lot of new players, especially if you played other sports like tennis or baseball, baseball throwing motion, you're kind of overpronating here. Even in tennis on a forehand, you'll turn it over to get that top spin. But in Ultimate, you don't want to overpronate. You want to keep your palm and forearm up when you're throwing. So when you throw, you essentially want to release just like that with the palm up. You do not want to come through and overpronate, because what will happen is the Frisbee will turn over. So when I overpronate, you'll see it's very much more likely for the disc to turn over, and a lot of newer players, that's what they struggle with, is having that disc turn over. So when you throw, you're going to want to release with the palm and forehand up, and almost think of like shooting a web like Spider-Man is getting it out here and almost pointing right at your receiver. And that'll help, just like that, pointing right at the receiver, ensure that the disc goes straight and flat when you're throwing. So another common throwing mistake that I see on the forehand is essentially holding the flick almost perpendicular to your hand. So it's just almost having your two fingers here and almost then have your thumb here on top, and it's almost just kind of resting, just like this. And so when you're throwing, you're almost just throwing on a perfect perpendicular plane, just like this. And it's really difficult to get any type of wrist snap on this or control, because as you can see, it's really wobbly. And so when I throw, it's very difficult to get any type of snap or consistent distance and accuracy with that. All right, so another common throwing mistake is the split finger grip. Sometimes we'll see this with newer players, but in general, this is not a strong way to hold the flick or grip it. Having two fingers here on the inside rim with the other two helping support it and holding it upright with your other hand for support is the best way for you to hold it. The split finger grip, one, you only have that middle finger to really get power on it when you're throwing it. When you have both fingers on it, that's what really helps with power, because both fingers are supporting each other when you're trying to get that snap. And those are the primary fingers that are going to push it along. When you have the split finger grip and you go to turn it over, you now have more of a perpendicular type of grip, which again makes it just a little bit more wobbly, less wobbly going down, but still wobbly on the top. And so when you go to throw it, you're going to have a little bit of a less control on your release when you throw it. So one last common throwing mistake for newer throwers is where to pivot. So in Ultimate Frisbee, if you're a righty, in general, your pivot foot is going to be your opposite foot, your left foot. So you'll pivot like this. But a lot of newer throwers is similar to coming from other sports like baseball, whatnot. They'll throw with their opposite foot. But really, when we're throwing and on a flick, really want to take a slight step forward and a step out to throw the flick just like that. We don't want to come through with our left foot like that. In Ultimate, we're going to take a step with the same leg as our throwing arm. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you can use these tips to help improve your game. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions or any other thoughts.